You worked like a dog during your marriage. You built up a nice retirement fund. Is your spouse legally entitled to any of it when you get divorced? That's what we're going to talk about right now. Hey everyone, welcome to Illinois Divorce TV, where we break down everything related to divorce and custody in Illinois. I'm attorney Robert Buchanan. Now let's dive in. Today we're talking about retirement, pension, 401ks, 403bs, annuities, IRAs. You get the picture. This can really be a hot button issue in a divorce. When you're married and you and your spouse are working as a team, you don't think much of the sacrifices you're making, working long hours, setting aside a portion of your paycheck each week to make sure that you two have a little nest egg for your golden years. It's romantic. But then the team falls apart. For whatever reason, trust is lost and the partnership breaks. The future, 20, 30 years down the road, looks a lot different now. When the team was together, you shared expenses. Most importantly, the biggest expense, your house. Not anymore. Your total expenses are going to increase, but you still only have one retirement fund. You don't have to share it, do you? Well, my friend, you probably do. Let's do a quick overview of the property division rules for divorce. When you get divorced, all the property that you and your spouse own is classified into three categories: your non-marital property, your spouse's non-marital property, and your marital property. Marital means of the marriage. So what happens in a divorce is you take your non-marital property, your spouse takes their non-marital property, and the marital property is divided. The law says that it should be divided equitably. In practical terms, equitably means, in 99% of cases, either a 50-50 split or something like a 60-40 split. I'll break down the factors that judges use to decide what's equitable in a future video. So what's non-marital property then? You know, the stuff I get to keep for sure. Wouldn't my retirement fund be non-marital? It's in your name, you worked for it, your employer did most of the contributing actually, it didn't even show up in your paycheck. None of that matters. Generally speaking, non-marital property is property limited to property that you had before the marriage, while most of the property that you got during the marriage is marital. That includes contributions to your retirement fund. But what about contributions that were made before the marriage? Well, those are considered non-marital. So really, if you started contributing to a retirement account before the marriage and continue to do so during the marriage, it's both marital and non-marital. If the case went before a judge, they would award you the non-marital portion and they would split the marital portion. The methods on calculating the marital and non-marital portions can get a bit more technical, but we'll just leave it at that for now. So how do you actually split a retirement account? You know, in practical terms, it's not as easy as just withdrawing cash from a checking account, is it? No, it's not. There are two basic ways that the value of a retirement account is split. The first is an offset. If you and your spouse have other property, you might negotiate an offset. For example, if your house has equity, you and your spouse could decide that you will keep your retirement account in its entirety and your spouse will keep the house. If an offset isn't in the cards, the other option is called a quadro, a QDRO, or Qualified Domestic Relations Order. A quadro is a special kind of order that the judge signs and you send to your retirement account administrator. It directs the administrator to divide the account by whatever instructions are laid out in the quadro. The administrator then reaches out to your spouse in order to set up a separate retirement account. Quadros and retirement account division can get extremely technical. Honestly, it would be silly to try to handle a retirement division without a lawyer. So there you have it. Let me know in the comments what you want to hear about next week. Check out the description below and my other videos for more info. And don't forget to like and subscribe. You got this.